Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a collective reading this Tuesday. There's a lot of planetary movements going on this week. There's going to be a massive 7-planet lineup again in a couple of days. So reap the healing qualities of that. It's a very rare celestial event, if you like, and there's lots of movement that can be had from that. So we utilize the intensity of the energies. It comes up to do our healing. So this morning I am using Ascended Masters, and first card I get is Follow Your Heart. So when we're too heavy in the mind, we haven't just got one aspect that we can live by. Mind is the most common one, but if we're too heavy in the mind, we could go down a very, very different path than when we lead with our heart. There can be misdemeanors with leading with the heart as well, because if we're too heavy in leading with the heart and not using other parts of ourselves, we can make very emotional decisions based on very big emotions that may not be for our best. So we need to link the two and make a logical decision, and one that feels right. So the soul, the feeling, the gut feeling, with no story chattering away, which means that we don't have evidence, and it's just a deep knowing that we need to do something without knowing why. And it can feel incredibly scary to actually follow that intuitive hunch, but it is there for your highest good. It is another way of living. So father, husband, brother, son, the male lineage of your family. We all have a male lineage, even if we don't know who our male lineage is, we do. And we have conditioning passed down through our DNA, and that's how somebody in the family generally at some point needs to break the patterns that go down the timeline, so that we can keep up with where we are at now, living in the times that we're living now. If we try to bring things that are too outdated with us and try to keep living it, it doesn't fit the world we're living in. And I see time and again people struggling with that transition from the old to the new. For example, how digital our world has become in a very short period of time, and the struggles people are having to adapt to that. But in a way, there is no way through other than to adapt. It doesn't mean that we want to lose all of our traditional values, but we have to be open to flexibility and change. And I think the human psyche can struggle with flexibility and change. Mine can. You are seeing the situation accurately. So if you're using your intuition to try to guide you through a situation, you're more likely to get clear thinking logically than if you're just using the minds. Using the intuition gives you a far bigger scope to see a much bigger picture than the mind will focus on an aspect or aspects. We have these faculties to use all of them in conjunction with one another, and it's a shame if we're only using maybe one and not both. When we see things accurately, by the way, doesn't mean we like what we see. Doesn't mean we like what we hear. But I think the key is how, I'm pulling the same male lineage card again, so I'll come back to that in a sec. How honest can you truly be with yourself? Because actually the more honest we come to deeper truths and clarity about ourselves, our situations, our lives, why we're here, what we haven't done well, what we have done well, we can go into all kinds of avoidance and denial because it's too uncomfortable. The quicker you can become more honest with yourself and accept your truth as to experiences you've had, when you get into acceptance, then the healing can start. If we resist acceptance, that we just cannot accept it, we're going to stay in that situation, that suffering. So stay focused. Where do you want your life to go? How healed do you want to be? And again, coming back to that lineage, that ancestral, do you understand the patterns of your ancestral timelines, your ancestral karma, the patterns that have come down your family, that are running through your bones and being passed down to the next generation? Is it still what you need it to be? Or do you see a bigger picture that maybe certain things need to be outgrown, outdated, ready for the new? Because final card to close out with, energy healing. We are all healers. When you go to healers for healing, what you're really doing is going to a healer to help open you up to your own healing, to be to allow you and support you and empower you to be able to do your own healing. It's not the healer that's healing you. The healer is reflecting back to you what your soul is reflecting to them. You are in that too. You're very, very powerful. So there is going to be one more. Spiritual law of attraction, Melchizedek, Ascended Master. healer as well. So remember the healer in you. You already have within you what you need to heal your stuff. If you cannot accept your stuff, if you're resisting your stuff, you can't heal it. But this is coming from a healer. You don't always need a healer to heal you. You just sometimes need support from a healer to help heal you. So let your journey begin. Take it easy.